Good morning and welcome to part two of my summary of The Dead Bedroom Fix, a book that every man must read. Okay, this book is written by a man, so don't come after me for telling you this stuff. I am telling you as a woman, he is right on target. So before I go into the summary of this, I want to just explain a little bit of the difference between men and women when it comes to sex that this gentleman has really got. Again, he was married 15 years in a sexless marriage. He's a father of three, remarried a second time. At the time of this writing, 7 years in, and he has a fabulous sex life because of these four basic principles. And those are things that I've talked about in my videos before. You have to remember that a man, a healthy man, is going to want sex and a lot of sex with a lot of women. But he will be monogamous because he is committed to his relationship and to honoring his life, and he wants sex and a lot of it. A woman, our desire for sex has to be ignited by our attraction to you. Okay, so we have to feel attracted to you. Our libido can easily go dormant. A woman's libido can easily go dormant, especially if she's stressed or is busy with the kids, or it can just go dormant if she no longer feels attracted to her man. She can be like, even forget about her libido completely. Okay, so our libido is awakened by the time of month that we ovulate or feeling an attraction for a man. And I want you to understand there's a difference between love, compassion, empathy, and attraction. It's a huge difference because I can love you and have compassion for you and have sex with you because I want to be a dutiful wife, because I love my husband and I don't want to deny him sex, and I know that he wants it, and I can just lay there and give him pity sex or duty sex or wifely sex, and that does happen. But that same woman, if her husband changes a few things, can feel attracted, and now she wants to fuck him. She's turned on, she desires him, she's engaged. And a healthy man, in my opinion, he wants that kind of sex. He wants the woman to enjoy it, to want him, to desire him, to be turned on, to want to be fucked, or, and just to be wild and crazy and playful and erotic. But again, I want to talk about the differences between the sexes, which a lot of feminists have tried to erase in trying to make us all the same, but we're not the same. Okay, men have a Y chromosome, an X and a Y, and we have two X's. So biologically, we're already different. And one of the things that the Y chromosome does, it ensures already in the womb that a male's brain and physiology develops differently. The brain already develops differently. A man's brain is larger than a woman's brain, but we have more connections between our hemispheres. And a big one has to do with hormones. Men have a lot more testosterone, and testosterone is what creates libido. Just look at what happens to men as they get older, or their testosterone wanes, and their libido will go way down, their energy will go way down, they'll get depressed, and then when they start taking testosterone again, they're horny, they have more energy, they feel happier again. Men need testosterone. That testosterone makes them want to have sex. And women, if you ever hear about women who undergo those hormones for being trans, or they start taking testosterone, their libido starts going through the roof. So that is a big difference. And also, if we look at men, not all men are fuckboys, but when a man gets super horny, he will fuck a woman who's a 4. But a woman is not ever going to be so horny that she'll fuck a guy who's a 4. Women are very selective. That this is all biological because if you think about how we evolved, we as women have a lot at stake with every sexual encounter. Not just the pregnancy, but birth, which can be dangerous and life threatening, and then having to take care of an infant through nursing. The infant is completely dependent on the mother before formula came along for its survival. Like our bodies are designed to intuitively know this, right? So a woman has to be choosy. We have to select someone who is going to stick around if we get pregnant and be a good father and be safe. Whereas a man can just, he has nothing at stake. He can just impregnate some woman and run off. And also, when it comes to sex itself, we are more vulnerable. I'm reading this book right now called The Gift of Fear, which someone recommended. And it talks about how many thousands of women are killed every day at the hands of their husbands and boyfriends. But not just can men hurt us violently, they can also hurt us during sex because it's the man that's putting his body in our body. Men don't have things rammed down their mouths, rammed into their butthole. Like a woman might be having sex with a guy and then all of a sudden there's a finger in her ass. Or the penis hurts her vagina or her cervix. Or a guy chokes her. Like, we're more vulnerable. So this is for the men who, sometimes men get upset because like, oh, I want easy sex. Well, we as women are more selective because it's our safety on the line. And even during sex, so many things can happen, even with the most well-intentioned man. If he doesn't know what he's doing, it's not going to feel good. So for all these reasons, we are more selective. And our sex drive is more delicate. And if you read Emily Nagoski's book, she talks about accelerators and decelerators. Women have a lot of decelerators to our libido. A decelerator could be, I'm mad at my husband because he keeps, whatever, resentment. It could be stress. It could be the dishes are all in the sink. The kids are running around. Like, women have more decelerators. And we need sex to be more, we get bored easily. Sorry, guys. I don't come after me. This is all in his book, okay? So don't come after me. A guy can just see his wife come naked out of the shower or walk by swishing her, and he'll be like, we got to do it right now. His cock gets hard like that. But she's like, why are you grabbing me? I'm doing the laundry right now. Back off. She's got to feel attracted. And if she gets bored, you can't make sex the same way every time, guys. We're going to get bored. And if we're bored, we don't want to fuck you. If we lose respect for you, we don't want to fuck you. If we're mad at you, we don't want to fuck you. If you're physically unattractive, we don't want to fuck you. If you're needy and manipulative and trying to do things to get favors for sex, we don't want to fuck you. If you're too familiar and comfortable, we don't want to fuck you. Okay? But here's the good news. There are a few simple things you can do as a man that will better you as a man and to make not just your wife, but all women, more women, attracted to you. And again, I want to differentiate between love and attraction, okay? Because your woman can love you and not be attracted to you. So I know what it's like to be attracted to a man. I was attracted to the man I was married to. I was very attracted to him because he happened to do all those things in here. But I still didn't like the sex. So one thing that he leaves out in this book is a woman may not want to have sex with you because you are emotionally avoidant and disregard her feelings completely. You're just using her in bed to get off. You suck in bed. He doesn't talk about you suck in bed, so she doesn't want to fuck you. Okay, I remember for years laying in bed looking at the ceiling, being like, I'm not going to tell my husband no to sex, but doesn't feel very good. And I lost my libido and I have no idea why. And even though my ex-husband did all the things in this book and I was still attracted to him, except there were some times I didn't because when he was physically unattractive to me. I'm just being honest. And I would make little hints like, you got to replace that shirt, you got to replace your glasses, just those things. And he wouldn't, and I thought he was so ugly I didn't want to fuck him. But I let him because he was my husband and I was a good wife. Okay? So I let him. But he wasn't good in bed and he wasn't good looking to me anymore. So I didn't want to fuck him. I was glad it was over. But he still wanted to fuck me because men are really not that picky. So I'm trying to help you guys out here. Okay, so now let's get to the point. So the 4 points are, and then I'll go into them in detail. You want to better yourself physically. You need to get away from your family and better yourself. Number 3, do not put up with your wife's bullshit. You got to have a little bit of a backbone. And number 4, be open with your sexuality and loving to your wife. So let's go through these one by one. Okay? Number 1 is you want to be attractive. I've talked before about be able to lift heavy shit. When you hit the gym and you're building strength and you're building muscle, you're not just building confidence, you're getting physically stronger, you walk taller, you have more muscle, and you're more attractive. You're the kind of man that more women want. And not only will you be more attractive to her, she'll start noticing that this guy looks good. And other women are noticing him, which also makes her more attracted to you. So you want to do things number 2, you need to get out of the house. You need to get out of the house, not just to give her a break and give her a sense of that, a little bit of scarcity, like don't be attached to her hip bone, but you're on a mission. You're involved in things. You're up to things. Maybe you have a motorcycle you go off and ride, or you volunteer somewhere, or you're playing basketball with the guys, or you're hanging out for 4 hours at the smoke shop. That also goes to number 3. Be unique and be different. Do something cool that's unique or different. He gives the example of the broke rock star. Why do women like him? Because he's this nerdy guy on the stage who doesn't give a shit what anyone thinks and is just singing. He's just being himself and having fun. He's unique. He's different. And then number 4, be her lover and be a leader. Be a rock. Be someone she can count on. Okay? And all these 4 things are things that make you a better man. And the things that make you a better man are the things that make your wife horny. This is so, don't be like, oh my God, this is manipulative. Is it manipulative to work out at the gym? Is it manipulative to get out of the house and have a mission and be up to things? Is it manipulative to be unique and different and not put up with people's bullshit? Is it manipulative to be a lover and own your sexuality? These are all authentic ways of bettering yourself. And when you're a better man, women will want to fuck you. And this will also apply to those of you who are single, looking for a wife or a girlfriend. So, do not let your woman get bored. She has a delicate sex drive. Do not let your woman get bored. I cannot repeat this enough. If you're boring in bed, if you do the same thing every time, we're going to get bored. I'm not going to want to fuck you because you're boring, you're predictable, you're comfortable and familiar, and that's nice and sweet like a teddy bear, but no one wants to fuck a teddy bear. You have to build attraction. I talk a lot about doing things apart from each other and having space from each other so that when you come back together, there's some newness there, there's some novelty there, there's, like Esther Perel says, a bridge to cross. Also, when your woman gets emotional or jabs at you, don't get all emotional. You have to be able to laugh it off or tell her to cut the crap out. You've got to be emotionally a rock. If you're emotionally volatile, you're not sexually attractive because now you're a little boy that we got to comfort, and having to comfort you and sexual attraction are completely opposite things. In order for a woman to really let go sexually, I have to feel like I'm not responsible for you. I don't have to caretake you. I can just like fuck you because you're the strong, independent being who can handle me. So it's very attractive when if your woman gets like a little bossy or argumentative or something, that you put her in her place and just laugh it off like it's no big deal. That makes you very attractive. Be a rock, be honest and true to yourself, have integrity, be a lover and not just a provider. Comfort and sexual desire are opposing. Esther Perel talks about this as well. The difference between we want safety and familiarity, and we want excitement and adventure and passion. They're opposite, and you can do both. But you cannot do these things that kill the female sex drive: familiarity and comfort, neediness, approval seeking, and being boring. I'm just trying to help you guys out here. Don't come after me. Don't come after me. Don't come after me. Okay, so I think now the reason that it used to be that a lot of men think, oh, well, I did all this to court the wife. Now I have the wife, and now I can kick back and relax. No, you cannot. Oh my God, no. They let me just read a little from this book. So this guy was telling the author, I don't have to do any of that shit anymore. I'm married. I don't have to lift weights. I don't have to be interesting. What he was really saying is, you have to do all that building and maintaining your body when you're looking for a new woman. I already have one. No need to keep up that charade. There's an understood dynamic at play in the post-divorce single dating world. We instinctively recognize our need to lower our provider traits and amplify our lover traits. We hit the gym, dress nicer, get more frequent haircuts, get a sportier car to give the appearance of being fun and good looking. We know that if we want the girl of our dreams, we must look and play the part of the lover. After all, we're in hunting mode. We instinctively know the best way to attract our prey. You don't approach a pretty little thing at the bar and say, I'm really good at ironing and folding laundry. Later, when we finally land a woman and marry her, the universal understanding is that you must now flip the scales in favor of provider mode. You let the stupid lover stuff go. It's no longer needed. We as men must then focus on being a provider above all else. We must now understand our new role in life and devote ourselves completely to it. It's our own form of the classic bait and switch. This is the wrong thing to do on so many levels. You want to be your wife's lover, always. If you're not, then somebody or something else will give her that emotional and physical high that she needs. Now that she has a committed husband, your wife will also start to naturally get more comfortable. In the world of the woman's libido, comfort does not correspond to sexual desire. And he puts that in bold. Comfort does not equal sexual desire. Comfort does not equal sexual desire. Get it? Get it? Get it? Comfort does not equal sexual desire for a woman. It's a libido killer. But wait, comfort is what you want to provide, right? You want to help put a roof over her head, food on the table, be there for her when things go wrong, help her when she is sick, right? Yes, of course. Keep doing those things. They're wonderful things. That's part of being an awesome human. This is the essence of being a good life partner. But realize that these things don't result in a horny wife. You can't just put all your eggs in the provider basket and hope for porn star level of activity in the bedroom. A romantic relationship that is built solely on provider points is not sustainable. And now that women earn their own money, they do not have to stay with the guy who bores them. Your wife doesn't have to endure a boring and unfulfilling relationship anymore. She makes her own money. All the barriers between her and a more fulfilling life have been eliminated because of these little things called divorce, alimony, and child support. She can be a free woman. Want to be in a happy and sexual relationship with one woman for the rest of your life? You got your work cut out for you, amigo. But that said, again, all those things that you're doing to get that make you a better man. They're going to make you more attractive to a lot of women. They're going to make you healthier, happier, more alive feeling. Like, I do all these things and I'm happy with my life, okay? These things make you a better person. Because I better myself physically. I get away from people, have a lot of alone time. I don't put up with anyone's bullshit. And I'm open with my sexuality. I would make a really good man. Okay. Now, women are having affairs more than ever. And sometimes guys are like, my wife doesn't want to have sex with me. She has no libido. And then they find a vibrator in the drawer, or they find a journal from when she was in college of all the crazy things she did, or she's having an affair. And it's kind of a wake-up call that, yes, she is a sexual being, but just not with him. And in her world, she says, he's not fun. He doesn't turn me on. I make more money than he does. I don't really like him all that much anymore. So what am I doing with him again? And then she has an affair. Now, I am opposed to people cheating and having affairs. I'm not saying that's okay. I don't think these women should be doing that. But that's what some women will do. Unfortunately, I'm sorry to hear that. So now you have to be her lover. To be her lover means that you have health. Number one, go to the gym. You want to have health, high energy, a positive attitude, nice teeth, clear skin, and high levels of testosterone. That gives you good musculature, good posture, confidence, and aggression. Comfort is thy enemy. I love guys that are healthy and have high levels of testosterone. I find that very attractive. Now, to put it bluntly, once you say I do, men tend to get fat and out of shape, and so does the wife. And the guys, and he's saying, I'm not buying it. You're just being lazy. Okay? He himself says, the author says this. This is the author of this book. I have 3 kids and I work full time, more than full time. My wife works full time. We travel. I manage to go to the gym 5 days a week. In addition to the gym, I now do stretches and a little light yoga at home before bed. I don't eat like shit. My wife is a busy MD who just recently had not 1 but 2 serious back surgeries. She was completely incapacitated for a month and is still recovering 5 months later. She is back in the gym. She still views working on her body as being a habit. She's a doctor. Are you too busy? Are you too busy taking kids all over the place? Soccer, basketball, football, Boy Scouts. Here's a novel idea. Stop trying to impress everyone with how many clubs and sports your kids attend. If they must attend that underwater fencing class that's so damn important, arrange for them to go with friends. Take care of yourself for once. There's nothing wrong with trying to be a better and more healthy man. Let's be honest, getting in shape is not that hard. We're not talking about building a new addition onto the house. We're talking about exercise and eating right. If you do all these things, your wife will be more attracted to you. Other women will be more attracted to you. Your wife will notice the other women being more attracted to you, and she will become even more attracted to you. You will be less stressed, you will have more positive energy, and that means less emoting to your wife. Men will respect you more. Your wife will notice men respecting you more, and she will become even more attracted to you. Your chances of getting sex from your wife will go up exponentially. Then some guy is whining, but I shouldn't have to go to the gym. She should just want me for me. For some men, just the thought of having to get fit to impress their wife is insulting. She doesn't look that great after all, and he still wants her. Why can't she just suck it up and do the same? If you find yourself saying this, you have some serious issues to work out around your perception of reality. You're the stomping, spoiled brat who doesn't get his way. Stop thinking about how things should be. It's done nothing but amplify your victim mentality and makes you unattractive to everyone around you. If somebody sold you on the romantic notion of your wife being sexually aroused by who you are and not what you are, it's not the complete truth. Your good-natured ways and track record of awesome dad behavior doesn't push her I must have sex buttons. What does help push her buttons are a flat stomach, strong pecs, a nice butt, and powerful arms. Now, a lot of women will say, I like those sweet, nerdy guys. Well, that's because society will praise her. Trust me, women like masculinity, confidence, and power. Look at every cover of every romance novel you ever read. Now, he says, since I became more muscular, I can tell you that being in shape is an instant button pusher for many women, regardless of their age or background. The muscles are attractive to women. So that is it. Anyway, he goes more and more into it. It's kind of cute. Now remember, if no other woman wants you, then your wife probably doesn't want you either. So don't shove unhealthy food in your face. Do things that set you apart from the crowd. Okay? And don't do it for your wife. Do it for you. Number 2. So number 1 was hit the gym, make yourself attractive. You do it for you. Number 2, go away, because familiarity breeds contempt. And not just to get out of the house, but when you start going away, you become more interesting to your wife. And she starts thinking, You know, the same kind of thoughts she had when you first met. Does he still like me? What's he up to? What could he be doing? Could he be with another woman? Does he still find me attractive? And that's good. You don't want to actually cheat or do these things on purpose, but it's natural when one person leaves the house. We naturally kind of wonder what they're up to. You know, it's just a natural thing, and that's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. Never ever let your wife get bored. That's in bold. Never, ever, ever let your wife get bored. When you get out of the house and you're doing stuff, she's not going to get bored. You're doing nothing wrong when you also challenge your wife. If she's being a bitch or something, here's the other thing. Yeah, nothing good comes from a bored wife ever. She will seek excitement elsewhere. I'm not talking about negative excitement, but like adventure, like be up to something, you know, have something going on. It's okay for her to be a little bit anxious when you're gone. Stop trying to alleviate her stress all the time, especially when that stress is indicative of a normal and healthy male-female relationship. Stop fearing her negativity. Stop with the, okay, I'll do whatever you want, just stop being a bitch attitude you had all these years. Your wife wants a man who can take her drama and laugh it off. Stop tiptoeing around her. You're doing nothing wrong. Remember, things that make you a better man are things that make your wife horny. Now, as part of getting out of the house, you need a mission. This is called being a man on a mission. I can't stress enough how important this is, that you must do something that is geared towards you and your interests and falls outside of the realm of the family. In other words, I'm going to coach my kids' baseball team to a championship is not a mission. I'm going to save up money and take my family to Hawaii is not a mission. These are examples of missions. And he gives some, like pursuing your art in sculpting, selling your first piece, going to an art gallery, or starting a charity for homeless vets, contacting other homeless vets to see what they're doing, learning about mental health, talking to struggling veterans, putting the plan down on paper, fundraising, and opening a homeless shelter for vets. He gives more examples, but you kind of get the idea. You're doing something exciting for you. But I think the same applies for me as a woman, as a single woman. Like I do things, like I have a mission, I have things that I'm excited about, and that makes people say like, oh, you have really good energy, like you look really happy with your life. The other day I was at a Christmas party, my dentist Christmas party, and I met these people, and this woman was like, oh my God, you're glowing, you look like you're really happy with your life. That's what I'm talking about. You find some things that make you happy with your life, away from your other people. That's something that's just yours. Learning an instrument, or getting a motorcycle or a sailboat, or going on long bike rides, or especially if you do things that involve other people. That's really pretty cool. So you want to get out and do things to be a better and more rounded man. Your wife and your life in general will thank you. So now I'm going into details on these. So number 3, be her lover. Be unique. Don't be like everybody else. Be different. Now, here's the thing. For a woman to devote herself to you and just you is a really big deal for her. She does not take it lightly. Ideally, she wants to pick one really good man to stick with for a long time. She wants a lover and a provider. That's the ideal man. Okay? So that is it. Number 4, be her lover. You must lead and set the tone for the relationship. And a lot of guys think, oh, I tell my wife I love her. Well, you tell your kids that you love them. That's not sexy. How do you go from I love you to being sexy? So The guy's like, well, I give her a massage. The guy's like, okay, here. A guy reaches out to me and complains about the lack of sex with his wife. He gives the typical list of provider traits as proof of his worth. He works hard. He's a great dad. He buys things for his wife. He's been faithful even though he's had opportunities to cheat. He doesn't flirt with other women. He helps around the house and with the kids. And so to get sex, this is what he does. He's like, so the author is like, well, how do you get sex? Well, I'll give her massages and stuff when we go to bed sometimes. She really likes that. Then I ask her if she feels like having sex. Oh my God, don't do that. She usually says no. I don't know what else to do. Oh, and sometimes we go out to dinner, just the two of us, when my parents can watch the kids. Go to the movies, stuff like that. Wow. How does she keep her hands off of you, Casanova? This is so very typical for men. Guys thinking like guys. They think it's a 4-step process. Lay down next to wife. Give her a massage or an overt sexual signal like grabbing her boob. Number 3, say you love her. And 4, ask for sex. No! Remember, delicate souffle. This isn't a firecracker you just light and watch explode. It's up to you to set the tone of sexiness in the relationship. If you sit back and wait for your wife to initiate sex without any action on your part, you will be one frustrated dude. I don't mean messaging her and saying let's fuck. I mean being way more subtle, genuine, and consistent over a longer period of time. Here are some examples of small actions you can do over the next few months to set the proper tone, but note this will only work if you have your physicality and mindset in line already. The first 3 steps we talked about. So here are some examples, and I love these. When you walk by your wife at home, give her a little brush and squeeze with your hand. Just a little something to say, I'm here, I see you there, sexy girl. I appreciate you. Nothing more. No words. Walking behind her while she cooks, give her a smooch on the back of her head. Tell her she looks beautiful. Tell her how much you love her. Walk away. Nothing else. Yes. She's carrying a load of laundry. Grab it from her. Here, babe, I got it. As you reach for the basket, pull her in and give her a smooch. Say to her, you look really good today. Leave it at that. Yes. She's getting ready in the morning in front of the bedroom mirror. Give her a butt a squeeze and say, that's what I like right there. Walk away. Nothing more. Yes. Because you're not just grabbing her ass because you want to get in there. You're grabbing her ass because you're a man who has constraint. You're not just going to roll over and lose your composure every time she's naked, but you're letting her know that she's a sexual being and you're a sexual being. That's what you have to keep doing. The worst thing a guy can do is only touch his wife when he wants to fuck, ignore her all other times, and not admit that he's a sexual being. So you've got to be in touch with your sexuality and own it and let her know that she's attractive and that you love her. You're giving little gifts of love and affection as part of setting your tone. With those brief little touches and kisses, you're reminding your wife that she's more than just a mom. She's a woman. And you're not doing these things because you expect sex, because that was the neediness part. I'm doing these chores and buying you these gifts, hoping to get sex. That's needy. You're not doing it to get. You're doing it just because you want to, and you appreciate her and you find her sexy. In fact, you don't care if she reciprocates your affection or not. This is very important. She may be frustrated at times with your touches and bluntly say, no sex tonight. That's cool with you. You just smile and joke with her. Wow, pervert. You just laugh it off. This is very key. You just laugh it off. Who said anything about sex? Or smile a simple, okay, and a quick change of topic will do. Outcomes should never be on your mind when it comes to little signs of connection. Her little verbal jab should just bounce right off of you. This is very important and crucial for setting the right tone in the relationship. You don't give two shits if your actions result in sex or not. Your feelings are not so easily hurt. You are not so emotionally dependent upon a reaction to you and what you do. Very important, guys. Very important. This is like a very underlooked thing, when you're thinking about female Viagra, but you got to think about not being emotionally needy with your wife, being able to laugh off the drama, being a rock, being able to own your sexuality and not expecting sex in return because you're just the hot guy that is just expressing his desire. Now, if she never fucks you, we'll get to that in a moment. Little verbal jabs from your wife can later become real toxic asshole behavior. If she's being offensive or disrespectful for no damn reason, let her know right there and then. Don't wait. Call her out on it. Okay? But you're not doing these things to her to get mommy's approval. You're doing them because you're a loving, sexual creature. She's a woman and you're a man. Okay? Now, you want to get her away from the kids. That's also very important. Because when your wife is in mom mode, she is not going to want to fuck you. When it comes to getting your wife in the right headspace for sexuality, it's all about context. Simply put, having children is a shortcut method to ruining your sex life. I cannot tell you how many men have told me that sex with their wife ceased after their new baby came into the world. Yes, it is going to happen 100% guaranteed, unless she's a psychopath who hates her kids. The wife's body and brain just shifted gears completely. Mom mode, engaged, must protect baby, everything else comes second to baby, ignore husband, again in bold. Many men believe this was an evil and manipulative bait and switch routine on the part of the wife. But it isn't. The more realistic and less sinister truth is that she used to want intimacy with her husband, but under the pressure of being a new parent, the world of sexuality is completely smothered. And adding more work to her to-do list, like having sex with you, is the last thing she wants to do. So you need to get away from the world of parenthood as much as humanly possible. You need weekends away. That's what I always tell married people too. You need weekends away. Now, should you initiate sex with your wife? He talks about initiating sex with your wife. And again, if you end up with a woman where you've done all these things and you find yourself attractive and other women find you attractive and she doesn't want to have sex with you, why are you married? But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed me going through this book. I love these tips, not just for... And honestly, the reason I make these videos is because I'm hungry for a man who does these things. I long for a man who does these things. A masculine man who's authentic, has integrity, wants to provide for me and fuck me, is his own person, wants to be my lover, my provider, who has his own stuff going on and has good boundaries and is attractive. I long for a man like that. That's why I make a lot of these videos about how to be a better man, because I'm like, if I can have more men who are like that, I could find someone to date. That's why I make these videos, to be honest with you. I long for a man who does the things in this book. And I bet you every woman listening to this longs for a man like this, who does the things in this book. And a lot of guys, I think where they go wrong with their wives is they either neglect the wife emotionally, or they're doormats and the wife has lost respect. And when a woman loses respect for you, she's not attracted to you. She doesn't want to fuck you. Women don't have sex with men out of pity. We desire you because we're attracted to you. And I do meet men sometimes who are very attractive and interesting, but they have that doormat vibe. And then I'm like, this is a nice guy, but I don't feel attracted because they don't, they're so caught up in being like if I meet a married man that say I know somebody who's married, he's a super great guy. I'm like, I know he's a great father and great husband. And of course, I would never date a married man, but I don't find those men sexually attractive because they forgot how to be a lover. They turned down their sexuality because they want to be a good man, a good provider, or they're boring. You know, they're boring. Um, I was somewhere a while back and I was talking to this really good looking guy, and it was in the afternoon. We were at like a bar that was playing some music. And I was like, hey, do you want to teach me to dance? Can you dance? And I wanted him to just take me and grab me and have me dance and twirl me around and teach me to dance. And he's like, I can't really dance. So I got turned off. Boring. I would rather be alone than be with a guy that's just going to sit there in a chair. Or if a guy's like, oh, I take care of my parents, I take care of my kids, I take care of my wife, I work all the time. Well, you sound really nice, but you're kind of a boring doormat. Do you ever want to fuck? Do you ever want to just get on a motorcycle by yourself and zip down the highway and go to a smoke shop and hang out with the boys? Like, are you interesting or are you just like a doormat? That's what I'm talking about. I'm looking for a guy who's a provider, devoted, boyfriend, husband, provider, and a lover who's got his own interests. I think I've gone on enough. I think you get the idea. And you cannot lose yourself in a relationship because it will make you boring. So I think, it's just, you know. Would love to hear your comments on this video and this book. I'm very interested in what people have to say, and thank you so much for watching my video.